It is the Riot Podcast. Welcome to the Friday, April 28th show, final show of the week.
We've got Kevin from Disciple. So if you want to, on the video side of things, see Kevin, and there's a special guest with Kevin that pops in towards the end. If you head to RadioU Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel, just go to the video before this.
We're just thinking how sometimes I like to start the podcast by saying something really obvious. Like, it's the Friday show, the final show of the week.
Yeah.
Did that really need to be said?
Well, I don't think it hurts.
Isaiah, can you cut that out?
There's a lot of things that you say that probably don't need to be said.
It's not just in the podcast intro. I think our whole show, we can do that.
Well, today during the show, we talked about cheating. And there's nothing I love more than cheating.
Academic cheating.
Whatever kind of cheating.
That's the best kind, actually.
There's only one thing I love more than cheating, and that's lying.
Lying about it?
I love cheating and I love lying, right?
I think that makes you a better cheater.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you can lie, then you're even more dangerous, right? We talked about how people like to cheat in board games, card games, whatnot. But later on in the show, we talked about dog tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Like, should you get a dog tattoo? Is it moral? Whatnot? Things like that. And so then it had me contemplating.
Tattoos on a dog, not a tattoo of a dog.
Well,
Yeah,
like if
either
you-
one.
Clearly, those are moral.
If your dog had a tattoo, if you did that.
Yeah, like could you give your dog a tattoo? But then I got thinking, because I've been on this weird thing recently where I've kind of wanted a temporary tattoo. I would never get a real one, but I want a temporary one just for fun.
Yeah.
Right, just for giggles.
Yeah.
Well, no, are you talking like the one that you put with water? Or are you talking like the ones that last a year or two?
No, I'm talking just the water.
The water
I'm
one,
too big of a
okay.
baby for a year. That's a big commitment, Nikki. I don't have that kind of commitment in my life. But I think if I were to get one, I think it would have to be one that's circled around
Your dog?
a lie.
Oh, a lie?
And my dog.
What?
Because I think that it'd be a great conversation starter if I had like a tattoo of like a date on my wrist, and I could be like, oh yeah, that's the day I saved my dog.
Oh, it means something, but really you're just lying about it.
Yeah, that could mean like a traumatic story that I could use. Like, oh yeah, Jim got hit by a car, and I went out and saved his life.
Then you have to put the date and then him underneath it,
Right
like
on
a
my
little
wrist,
face.
and I think it'd be a great
Never
conversation.
don't ever forget him.
And that would be a great conversation starter, especially with women. I think that they would love that. If I was like, yeah, he means the world to me. I almost lost him, and here's the
Do
date.
you know this is why we can't trust any of you?
What are you talking about?
This is absolutely
It's a
why.
white lie. I
It's
mean,
not.
I'm not saying he died.
This is not a small one. This is a planned out, thought out
it's
tattoo
but
was
is that
taken.
premeditated?
Premeditated. Full story that would continue into your entire relationship until you decided one day you told her the truth.
But it would be one of those things where, like, I wouldn't say that he died. I would say he almost died, but he's alive, and you can meet him if you like.
Which, I mean, we're almost dying every day.
Exactly.
That's
I mean, He
right.
has had some traumatic experiences.
And how can that be disproven?
Exactly. I mean, it was just a one-on-one moment. It was me and him. He got hit by the car. I picked him up. I saved his
Lies.
life. Or I jumped in front of the car and saved
You did
him.
save him that one time when he was running down the street.
I have
Remember, he
saved him in
escaped.
traffic
Yeah.
before. So maybe I leave out the part where he got hit.
Yeah.
And I just say he was in traffic and I grabbed
Say,
him.
it was a close call.
It was so close.
I just can't.
There's a lot of things you can say where it's not even actually lying.
Exactly, because he has been in traffic, and I did save him technically. Because,
Don't encourage him to do this sort
listen,
of behavior.
Listen, wouldn't it be so cool if I had like a little tattoo? It'd be such a great conversation
It's not.
starter.
They don't hurt. Why don't you just get one?
Because I'm too nervous.
No.
'Cause I don't want to look stupid, you know? Because that's the next
Because
thing
your
is like.
lies aren't making you
No,
look stupid.
because I feel like then again, I'm thinking about a temporary tattoo, and I don't want it to look cheesy or like really temporarily done, you know? Like, Nikki,
Because it's a SpongeBob.
if you got a temp tattoo and you put it next to like your real ones, you'd be like, well, this one looks kind of dumb
Actually,
now, right?
your real ones fade and get harsh over time. So, like, the temporary tattoo probably would look way better.
Can you imagine if I came in one day and I just had like a sleeve, and you guys were like, "You're such a poser. Like, who do you think you are?"
And that wouldn't match you at all anyways.
I think that we should have like a punishment on the show where we have to get like a temporary tattoo.
well, we
There's
can't.
no punishment. It's water on your thing.
I know, but we need a dumb one. Like, I want to be able to pick one for Hudson, and I want it to be a teardrop right here, and then that would be a punishment,
There
even
it
though it would
is.
only be there
That
for
would
like
be
a
tough.
week.
I think we could do that with. We talked about it with piercings before.
I can't do a piercing. That's way too much. Are you crazy?
I don't think that's that much.
What are you talking about? It's not that much. Nikki has multiple. Isn't it a
Yeah.
lot?
What do you mean?
Is it a big deal to get a piercing?
No, because it's just like with tattoos. Your first couple, and then you're like, whatever. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
So you would say if Hudson got, well, he'd be cool to get like a nose piercing.
I think it'd be great. Absolutely.
Nikki is so bad. She just wants. She was so totally wants this happen because she knows how silly we're gonna look.
No, I think you guys will look great. I think
With
it
a
looks
nose
better.
piercing?
Absolutely.
I
Now,
would rather do a temp tattoo that's like on my neck or something that says like savage rather than like getting a nose piercing.
sometimes you guys come off as babies.
I know. I can't do it. I can't commit to it.
It's not hard.
You know, our listeners are so hard too. They probably have piercings all over, and like for me, I'm too scared.
Yeah, it is kind of a baby.
We need more punishments on the show.
Yeah, we do. We need to toughen up.
We do. Nikki will get a tattoo. I say
have
we
no
just start
problem with
giving
it.
Nikki tattoos. That's
I have
the
no
new
problem
punishment.
with it. Add on. It's fine. Even though I remember when I first started getting them, I was young enough. My mom knew of my first two, and then I hid the rest of mine. And
Which is
then,
how many? I'm just wondering.
I have 5. And so
the
then
following 3.
And then I remember when we would go on vacation and like if you're swimming, you would just
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
no, I'll wear my shirt.
Mom, I'll just do a swim shirt.
It's fine.
Anybody bring a swim shirt?
And then
I don't want to
finally-
get sunburned.
It
Yeah.
finally gets all figured out, and your mom's disappointed in you.
Who even are you? I don't even know you anymore.
I know.
It's so
Yeah.
wild. The first 2 she knew about, and the other ones are like, I don't want to disappoint her. I gotta keep this hidden.
Well, it also, I don't think she liked, I used to have plugs in my ears. So, like, my bottom hole was stretched out, and it was actually pretty big. And she hated that one. I could tell
Well,
because you had to go often, you'd get them stretched, and there's
Yeah.
no way to unstretch. So, like, you can still get a pretty good plug in there. And so I think that disappointed her more.
Why'd
She
you
didn't
get-
care about piercing. She just cared about the stretched ears.
Why'd you get rid of those?
They just got too much if you kept going. Like, there was only so much. So, you know.
Only so
just-
much you can stretch, huh?
Because again, I'm not a baby.
Yeah.
If being a
I'm
baby
too
means I'm not getting
scared.
my ears plugged, I
I'm
think I'm okay
scared.
with
I'm
being
a big- I am a
tiny
baby.
boy.
I am a little baby.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, enjoy the podcast. If there's anything you want to throw in and maybe have us cover on Monday's podcast, text us, of course, at 877-2-RADIO-U.
And if you guys have any ideas for temporary tattoos for us, just
Why don't you
text
just-
those into. I want something cool though.
Why don't you just wait to get one in a Happy Meal?
Oh yeah, and I can slap it
Or
on.
the next time we go to the doctor.
Oh,
You would get one.
We know we're not doing that.
no.
Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
Hey guys.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at Radio U Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
I got a trivia question for you.
Sure, trivia.
Yeah, Katy Perry.
Not trivial, but
No, it may be. Katy Perry, Demi Lovato,
okay.
Lucille Bliss,
Okay.
and Rihanna.
All right.
What do they all have in common?
Would it be American Idol in some way,
No,
shape, or form?
no, it's not at all. It is. They are all in their own time the voice of Smurfette.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Rihanna is the newest member of the Smurfette Club. She has been announced as the voice of Smurfette for a new round of Smurf movies from Paramount and Nickelodeon.
You know how sometimes we tell you guys stories and we're like, oh, the excitement, you know, you're like building.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what is this? And I feel like the excitement level on that went down and down and down.
You don't like the Smurfs?
No, I never liked the Smurfs.
Were you not allowed to watch them? Is that why you don't like them?
No, it just never was a popular thing. And I mean, it was just not a show that we watched.
I know for some people, for some reason, the Smurfs were something you couldn't watch, which I don't understand.
Okay.
But I also understand not liking them or caring about them at all.
I think it's more of that right there.
Yeah, because I never got the Smurfs either. Although I do remember going back to a gal I dated. One of the things we had to do is take her younger stepsister to see one of the Smurfs movies in theaters.
It's so funny what you remember.
And, yeah, how could you
Can't forget that one.
How could you forget? And man, was that a waste of money.
So they still make Smurf movies, and it looks like that's Nickelodeon.
It's been a little while, but they're bringing it back. I don't think we know anything else about the rest of the cast, but what else do you need to know? Rihanna's the voice of Smurfette, and not only that, she'll also be writing and performing original music for the movie as well. So you've been waiting for a new album from Rihanna?
Oh, this is what
you're
you
getting one. You are getting one.
It's
A
maybe
Smurf one.
maybe not what you actually wanted, but sure, that works.
Yeah, but other
You
than
got to
that,
be specific when you're talking about what you want.
that's right. We did need to ask. I feel like I expected better of Rihanna. I don't know why.
She did an animated movie once. I
She
think it
did?
did well, and it had a song attached to it.
What was it?
It was an alien one.
Aliens?
And it was with the Big Bang Theory guy. And that's
Which
all I'm
one?
remembering. Jim Parsons, that guy.
I'm going to figure this out.
You got to look it up. So if you are interested, don't let us dissuade you, but it is.
Oh, is she in the movie? Is it called Home?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
So it's Untitled Smurfs animated movie. They'll come up with a movie title, and it does not have a release date.
They don't need to come up with anything else except that Rihanna's in it. That'll be good enough.
They figure once she writes the music, the rest of it will write itself.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
Picture this. You're sitting on a Spirit Airlines plane, right?
Yeah.
Just minding your own business. You look out over through the window, out to the wing, and what do you see? A gremlin. No, just kidding.
I get that reference.
You see somebody putting tape on the wing of the plane.
Plane tape?
Yeah, plane tape.
At least it's something.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I have not flown Spirit Airlines, but I have heard that it is the budget-friendly one.
Yeah.
And I guess, you have to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. Whatever they got to do to get that plane up in the air.
They promise.
Actually, if you're flying Spirit, you should be glad that they're even taping the wing at all.
That's a good point.
Yeah. They just as well could have just abandoned you at the airport.
I think it is probably just that. Maybe they tape plane wings a lot and we just don't see it. But they say a lot of the problem was because the passengers were watching this go on. That's why they're really upset.
Yeah. So
they said that I don't care if it's aviation airplane tape.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
That's so it's gone viral on TikTok video of this because it's actually happened. And so there's a debate now because there's a bunch of aviation folks, and mechanics and whatnot, saying that's completely normal. It's called speed tape.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good to like negative 65 degrees and up to 600 degrees. It'll still hold. They use it all over the plane.
It's basically
all the time.
for minor repairs.
Yeah, and then they can, and it's called speed tape because it dries, it adheres quick.
Here's another good quote. Every airline uses it, including Southwest. Poor Southwest.
Yeah, so that's all the aviation people. But then there's the normal, sane people like you and I that are like, I don't care what kind of tape it is. That's not reassuring to me.
They say it's used a lot on like race cars as well. It's just very common. Don't need to be worried about it. But perhaps next time you don't put the plane tape on the plane when everybody's in the plane watching.
I mean, speed tape is so great. I say, why not make the whole plane out of it? Why are we
Don't
wasting
tempt
all this
them.
money on all the metal and other actually, mechanical things? Why don't we just use more speed tape? I say.
My favorite user response to it was someone's like, he patted it down, the tape,
Yes,
so it's okay.
I love that part of the video where he's
It's like tap, tap,
nice,
tap, tap.
real official. I feel real safe.
You're fine. It's official and it's okay.
If he didn't tap it down, it might have flown off when they were going hundreds of miles per hour.
He did his job.
But he took care of it. He got those air bubbles out and everything.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
All right, we're going to need some honesty here right now. First of all, none of us say we get a great night of sleep.
No.
Ever.
We don't get enough.
Yeah. Even on the weekends, you think you feel like you wake up refreshed?
Nope, I think it's worse.
Yeah, it's worse, huh?
Because I stay up
The
later.
more sleep you get,
Yeah.
The
the more tired you feel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I may have found the problem. I have a sleep expert here, a doctor named Mike Dilks. He's a renowned sleep expert and ear, nose, and throat surgeon. The reason that those two connect is because ear, nose, and throat, they're like, snoring, sleep apnea stuff.
Oh, it can affect your
Yeah,
sleep.
so
Interesting.
For him, he says surgery is the last resort. He'll always recommend other different things that people can do to improve their sleep, like change their posture, like the position they're sleeping in, get sleep tracking apps, all this different stuff. But the one thing he points out, he says that for the best sleep, you need to be in a room that is stark and bare.
Oh, nothing in your bedroom?
Nothing in your bedroom. He also says you shouldn't spend time in your bedroom except for when you're going to bed.
Now I have heard that they say like, oh, don't watch TV in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't even like read. It's only supposed to be for when you fall asleep.
Yeah. So he said, this is his quote: "If you go to bed in a room with TVs and coffee machines and other distractions, then you just don't sleep as well as if your bedroom is stark bare and just has a bed."
Yeah, but our biggest distractions are our pets, and I can't
True.
see them removing, so I think it's them.
Maybe they need a bedroom.
Oh, they need their own.
Yeah.
We don't have room in the budget for that.
So
You go and you're like, can I get a 2-bedroom apartment?
I'd be like, Jim, can you please clean your room, dude? It's a mess in here.
well, they're like, oh, I thought you always had a roommate named Jim. You're like, no, that's
No.
my dog's room.
yeah, and it is he's a troublesome one. So what is in your guys' bedroom that's keeping you awake?
Well, I have a TV.
A TV.
I have a Peloton.
What in the world?
I have a cotton candy maker. No, just kidding.
I'm about to say.
It's a circus in there.
yeah, it sounds like
I
it.
got 3 dog beds, and I got a new one. I got a doggy sofa.
Yeah.
So it's a really cute lazy boy one. And
Oh,
try
man,
sleeping
that's
on that.
awesome.
so that's for Rolo.
Maybe you'd get a better
Of course
sleep
it
if
is.
you use that
Rolo's
thing,
so
yeah.
spoiled.
I know, and
is.
he's the worst out of all of them, but
course
it's got a
he
little bone pillow.
Oh, that's so cute.
Of course it does.
It's really cute.
Of course it does.
I mean, that's it. Everything else is pretty normal.
No wonder
I have
you
a mini
can't
fridge.
sleep.
A mini
No wonder
fridge.
you can't sleep.
She made it sound like it's a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
She's like, my
Are you gonna-
Peloton's in there. I've got a fridge. We got our stove in there, too.
It's a
I pretty much live in that
It's a
room.
studio. Nikki lives in a studio.
It's funny, too, because they said spend as little time in your bedroom as possible. And Nikki makes it sound like she can exercise in there. She can make her food in
She
there
could
after
go
she's
a
done
week
working
without
out.
leaving her bedroom.
Yeah.
if she
Listen,
had to.
it's a small mini fridge, but it does make a slight hum. So I agree. This guy's probably
Exactly.
right. It just keeps you up at night.
All right, Isaiah, what's in your bedroom?
Mine's like the exact opposite. Mine has made large strides, though. For a while, it was just my bed and Jim's cage.
Oh, that's it.
That used to be all there was. Now I've got
Was
like
that when you were poor? Or?
That was the beginning stages of me moving into the house, as most men are in the beginning. You kind of just
Yeah.
live with whatever, and then you just accumulate things as you go.
Yeah.
But now I have like a dresser in there, and I have like 3 pictures hung up,
And that's it?
and then my bed and Jim's cage.
No
That's
TV
it?
in there?
No, there's a TV. It's mounted on the wall.
Yeah.
But I never use it because I always watch TV in the living room with my roommate.
Yeah.
And then I do only go to my bedroom to go to sleep. I don't like lay in my bed in there or anything because, number one, I don't want Jim just hanging out in my bed all the time. He's only allowed in there when it's like bedtime because if we just hung out in the bed, then he would think that's a play place where we can
That's a
play
good
in the
point.
living room. And then whenever we lay down in bed, he's really good now. He knows that means we're going to sleep. And so he gets right in, gets under the covers, goes to bed.
You got a few things figured out. You'd think you'd be sleeping better.
You'd think I'd be happy. I don't know.
The doctor's like, I don't know what else to tell you. I
Yeah.
mean, you're pretty close to
You're
his
doing-
tips.
you
yeah,
are
you're
going to
doing
need
right.
surgery,
I
actually.
know.
The guy says like sleeping on your side can sometimes be better. So the doctor's like, use a tennis ball, sew it into your pocket, so that way
Sew
you're-
it into your pocket.
during the night you're tempted, like if you want to sleep
Lay
on
on
your
your back?
back
Yeah.
or whatever, you'll automatically just keep staying on your side because it'll bug you.
Interesting thought.
That's one way to do it. That sounds like a lot of work.
Well, the
I don't think I'm
doctor,
sleeping that bad.
I know the doctor's tips if you want to follow
If I
them or
have to
not.
start sewing, I think I'll just be tired.
These are good ideas, though.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
I've got an interesting survey here. This is from YouGov. They asked 1,000 Americans. They asked them a lot of questions about just what's right and wrong when it comes to animals.
Yeah.
And so the thing that I found most interesting is which animals Americans think that it's acceptable, morally acceptable to eat. There's not ones they say are necessarily taste good, but in your mind, can you find your way clear to eating some of these animals? Okay, what do you think was the top animal that people are willing to eat?
Probably chicken or cow.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the top 2.
Top 2?
Yeah.
What
What's
comes
number 3?
first?
A pig?
Pig is actually 4th.
Really?
Salmon number 3.
Salmon.
Wow, big fish people.
Yeah, and actually, so this is interesting. They asked about, I don't know how many, but I'm looking here. The majority of them, a majority of people are okay with eating.
Yeah.
So I'll go down the list real quick here.
You mean animals or just eating, period?
Both.
Yeah. After pig was, then you have duck, deer, sheep, rabbit, and octopus
Ooh.
all come in with a majority of Americans saying, yes, it's okay to eat this.
Okay.
But then see if you see what you think of the ones on the bottom of the list. The
Don't say horse. Don't say horse. Don't say horse.
horse was next on the list.
Oh,
As
I
it should be.
can't. No,
29
don't even.
A lot of
20
muscle there.
29% of people think it's okay to eat a horse.
Wrong.
Why? Why is it? Why
I'm not
is it?
getting into that.
No,
I'm
we
not-
need to get into it.
I don't want to get into it.
After horse,
I'll get into it. We can eat them.
after we can. I think they just don't taste good, right?
I can't imagine them tasting very good, like a horse leg. You would think if they would taste good, then it would be served more often.
They are served
Yeah.
everywhere except usually in the United States. A lot of horses are sold out of here, but it's mostly a European thing.
Really? Have you
or
ever
like
had
in
a horse?
Japan. No way.
Not that she
No, but-
knows of.
Oh, no.
Not that she would admit to.
No,
Yeah.
no. I
right.
can't. I rode ponies a lot when I was little. I can't do that. I can't.
You can't be so emotionally attached, though.
I
That's
can
the
and I
problem.
am and I will.
what
I never
about-
had a cow though, so.
There you go.
Next on the list was guinea pig.
Oh, that is popular in some
Guinea
places.
pig?
Yeah.
Guinea pig is big, like in what
South
is it,
America?
Peru? Yeah, I think they eat them there.
Still feel like there's a lot of meat there.
But then, no, they're bigger than like our little
Oh, they fatten them up.
home
Yeah.
guinea pigs, like natural, like in the wild ones are
Oh,
bigger.
yeah, okay.
And after that was dolphin.
The fish, though. It's not dolphin. It's dolphin
No,
fish.
they're talking about the dolphin in
No,
this
it's
case.
not.
Yes, they are.
It's not. You're
They're
not
talking
eating
about-
dolphin.
Why? Why is that so bad?
Wait, are there two different kinds of dolphin?
Yeah, there's a dolphin,
dolphin fish.
and then there's the dolphin that's like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for sure the one they're talking
Yeah,
about.
right. They didn't
Why
say
even
dolphin.
list it if it was not going to be that one,
Dolphin
you know?
fish is just on the menu if you go to Florida.
I've never even
Just
heard of
eat it.
that.
It's good.
Well, we're
The
talking
dolphin
about the other
fish,
one.
but I would also I don't see the problem with eating a dolphin.
Let me tell you, this list is getting horrific.
Let's get better.
All
Get
right.
deeper.
Next, that was
Don't
20.
tell me a polar bear is on this list.
No, they didn't ask about that. 24% said it was okay to eat dolphin.
Gosh, what's wrong with you?
One in every four.
After that was dog.
We knew that was coming at some point,
we
right?
knew it was,
18%.
but no.
Oh no, I skipped one. Cat 20%.
Cat before dog. So you know what? I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
Gosh, this is a horrible list.
But other places eat those animals.
I know, and you know what? I'll tell you this much. My dog, Jim, if he was somewhere where they ate him, they'd for sure want to eat him because he's so fat now.
Uh-huh.
They would look at him like a 3-course meal.
He's very tempting looking. Is that it?
He looks really tender.
Here's a question.
There's a lot of fat there.
There's lots of different types of dogs, right? You just think of your pet dog, but what if it was like wolf?
No.
You wouldn't eat wolf?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you eat wolf?
I'm not even sure that sounds. I think when I think of wolf, I think kind of like a disease for some reason. So I think I would skip on
Fox?
that one.
Would you eat a fox?
See,
No.
fox also, it's like the same thing as a raccoon to me. Like I'm not eating
Are you
raccoon
just saying because they're fuzzy? Or?
I'm thinking just because they just look kind of grimy.
Sometimes
you know?
they're rabid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I see them eating out of the trash can. They probably have diseases.
That's
I'm
a
out.
raccoon.
Yeah, now rabbit, that's different. Squirrel, no.
I've got two more that got lower scores than dog for people
All
willing to eat
right.
them. You
What
ready?
is it?
You ready? Or should I save them?
Yeah,
Should I
let's
build
say.
suspense?
All right, why don't you
Suspense.
say and come back and tell us?
Everybody text in 8772 Radio U. What
What's
are
the last
two
two?
animals people are less likely to eat than a dog in the United States?
Well, I have this article.
We'll find out.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I have a list here. This is a survey of 1,000 Americans. They were asking, what animals do you think are acceptable or not acceptable to eat?
And as you get lower on the list, it gets worse and worse.
We've gone down the list.
You never said what was one. You just said cow and chicken were one and two. Like
Chicken was number one.
chicken is one. Okay.
Chicken is the number one animal that people think it is okay to eat. We've gotten down near the bottom of the list. Dog is the third from the bottom.
We've already passed dolphin.
Yep,
We passed
dolphin,
cat, horse, guinea pigs.
That is all. That's all in the past. There are two animals that Americans are less likely to eat than a dog.
So Annie texted in and went with rat. Is that on that?
Ew, rats.
Rat.
They
Yeah,
did-
talk about disease.
They didn't ask about that.
So that's not there?
That wasn't
Such
on the
little
list.
meat there,
Let's
too.
see.
I feel-
Lydia says if human isn't on the list. So human
No, yeah,
size
there's
all
no
animals.
human on the list. I think that would get very low scores. something tells
Probably.
me.
So
And
I think we're out of guesses.
I don't think that really tastes good. But one of the answers on the list is actually close to human. I'll tell you that second to last was elephant.
Oh.
The whole rare thing. That's why.
17% of people say it's okay to eat an elephant.
Because realistically, there's a lot of meat there.
How would you do
You
that?
could feed a couple families.
Jeez.
But at the same time, they're so rare that you can't really justify.
Yeah, if they weren't
eating them.
endangered.
If they weren't endangered, they'd be at the top of the list.
I feel if it was okay to eat an elephant, if they weren't endangered, would you do it?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, right. They seem like
There'd be nothing against it. You know?
Yeah, but do you think it would taste good? Is what I'm asking.
It's an elephant.
Well, there's a lot of meat
monster.
there. They'd be tender, right? There's so much meat, it has to taste good, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
It's like a huge cow.
I can't believe elephant is so low. I would way rather eat an elephant than even a horse.
Well,
I'd go
PETA
elephant over
would come
horse.
for you. That's why they don't want you to get canceled. Because if you get caught eating an elephant, you're a bad person.
Well, it's more because you're probably killing it for the tusk, so you're doing that. But let's see. Brandon's guess was a parrot, so maybe like a bird.
Oh, a
Nope,
bird.
No, I think
The bald eagle.
Yeah, that wasn't asked.
I think that's illegal, right?
It wasn't
Yes, it
asked
is.
about, but I think parrot would be actually people would be okay with it. I feel
Yeah.
like. The lowest on the list, the number one animal that people do not think it's acceptable to eat, chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's like similar to us, maybe? Is that why?
I think so. Well, it seems that outside of cat and dog, it seems that the animals people don't want to eat are intelligent. Dolphin, elephant, chimpanzee. So it's animals that people think are smart.
Yeah, you don't
is
want to.
basically what you don't want to
Hey,
eat.
but go back up the list. They say pigs are really actually very smart.
They're smart.
And
They're like a dog.
they're like number 4.
That's just because of bacon.
Exactly.
pork,
So
all the good stuff.
In other words, it doesn't make any sense that we won't eat these other animals.
You just want elephant to happen, don't you?
Chimpanzee's awful low.
It's
That's way low.
14% of people,
That's
which
low.
still feels like a high percentage of people that would
Yeah.
say, "Yeah, I'd eat it."
Max,
I would pick gorilla before chimpanzee, I think.
Max, thanks for texting. A young elephant would be more tender than an old one. Yes, that's why. That's why sometimes
okay,
they
so a
have
child.
young things are usually
Like
more.
veal.
Yeah, like veal.
Yeah. So
So baby elephants are better.
when you
What?
do have to start saying that, then it starts to sound a little
Well,
wrong.
if you killed it as a child, then like it wouldn't be as bad.
I can't handle this list anymore.
I thought it was really interesting.
Chicken fingers, it is. That's it. That's
I guess
it.
we're cool on chicken. We're not gonna get canceled
We
for
all
that.
almost all agree on that.
That one's okay.
It's the riot.
Don't like it, but it's okay.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
I've got a story here of a doctor who routinely shares photos like from the surgeries he performs, which grosses me out. I've had friends that are like, "Come on, it's just medical. I'll just show you the pictures. It's just a guy with his hand, the skin peeled completely off of his hand."
Oh,
Even you just describing that.
Yeah, it's horrible,
it's
isn't it?
awful.
But this doctor has gone viral for one of his posts he made recently, where he shows a man who came in for surgery on his fingers. He got his middle finger and his ring finger. He cut them open.
Yeah.
This in the surgery, he cuts them open and pulls out 2 magnets.
Yeah, too graphic, Hudson.
From his fingers?
The magnets were inside his his middle finger and his ring finger on his left hand.
What did he put those in for?
He put them in 40 years ago so that he could cheat at dice.
Oh.
Loser.
Oh, interesting. So that it would, cheat on the rolling of the dice?
Yeah, they believe he hasn't exactly explained himself completely, but it is believed that he, with the two magnets in his fingers and then a magnet in the dice, he could manipulate the score and the
numbers.
roll of what the dice would wind up at. And I don't know if you've ever played high-low or heard of that, but in Thailand, where this is located, they call it sick bow, and it's really big there. And so he, 40 years ago anyways, was probably cleaning up.
Yeah, but people didn't know
Betting
he was
on the old
cheating.
dice, yeah.
So in case you wondered, you're like, 40 years later, this man finally has had an epiphany on cheating is wrong. It's not. He wanted to take a flight, and he's afraid that the magnets would set off the security, and then he'd be found out for cheating and gambling for so long. So that's why he was having them taken out. It
Smart.
wasn't because he was changing his ways.
Yeah, well, he did say that his gambling days were behind him. So
He just didn't need the magnets.
He just,
He's retired. He doesn't have to gamble anymore.
he's already made his winnings. He can live off of that and just continue on. You guys ever You guys can you admit
To cheating?
Yeah.
Well, not with magnets.
No,
I mean,
I haven't gone that far.
sure there was the traditional school help, but that's about it.
You haven't done anything noteworthy
Nah,
in
not
the cheating world, Isaiah?
I love cheating at euchre. Nothing makes me happier than cheating at euchre. It's my favorite pastime with my friends. I'm like the best partner ever because I always win.
You're fine to cheat with that?
And euchre, it feels so harmless, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm just playing with my friends. We're not playing for money. I just do it so that I can win.
See, I guess during, it was slightly before COVID, but especially during that time, like board games became pretty popular. Like if you were stuck with your family. And I think a lot of people realized that more individuals cheat than we realize.
Even as adults, I think in every family there's at least one person that
cheater.
cheats at board games, and in my family that's me.
Takes it a little too seriously. Do you do the thing where when you play Monopoly and you want to be the banker?
Oh no, I don't really play Monopoly like
You
that.
don't go that way.
He's a euchre man.
I only cheat in euchre. That's my thing. And I only do it just to see if I can get away with it.
Yeah.
How good can I be at it?
It's the rush. It's not even about winning. It's just the rush of getting away with it.
It is the rush of it, and it makes me so happy, like knowing when everybody has their cards, and I'm like,
Well,
I'm gonna win.
What can you do? Like this guy put magnets in his fingers to help. What can you do to help cheat more with euchre? I'm not up on the game.
See, what I do every
You can't
time.
give away his secrets.
Yeah, I don't want everybody to know. But I always have like one of the main trumps, either left or right,
Yeah.
always at the bottom of the stack, and I'm always, as I'm shuffling, I'm looking at the cards, things like that. Nothing super important, but like knowing where they're at, it's always my favorite.
Is that why your family doesn't want to do any more euchre nights?
Yeah, they're like, no more euchre, Isaiah. There was one game I tried. There's been multiple times I've been caught cheating too. One time I played the left twice in one game, and people began to question.
You've been found out.
Everybody knows now. I mean, every time I shuffle, they just cut every time.
It's over for you.
Sounds like you have a problem.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
You know what time of year it is? It's time for promposals.
It is.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them going viral, but I've got one here that is particularly noteworthy. This is in Ohio, where the dude in the situation pulls up to the gal's house, and he doesn't pull up alone. It's him and three friends. They come up with the clip-clop of sound of a horse.
Yeah.
But it's not a horse. It's two halves of a coconut. Oh. At least I think that's what it is. And so they roll up. He unrolls a scroll. Hear ye, he says.
I think there was trumpets too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there was real trumpets, but yeah, there's he goes, hear ye, Sir Gavin Gallig, son of Sir Trevor Gallig, first of his name, destroyer of porcelain. What does that mean?
I think it's all in reference to is it a movie or a show?
I mean, the setup is, but I don't think that happens. It's Monty Python. I mean, they're
Destroyer
copying
of porcelain just means, punishing the bathroom.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I think so.
He included that in his promposal.
Well,
huh?
why not? He's just on a roll.
I mean, at this
point. Slayer, tamer of the beast Chewbacca, slayer of the bucks, and scourge of all those things that smell nice and clean, cordially invites you, and he says the gal's name, to the royal gala filled with fun fellowship and fellow acquaintances, the prom. And he
that was his promposal?
Unrolls the scroll and that says prom ? She says yes, surprisingly. And so they're going to the prom together.
It's cute. I watched it on TikTok. I didn't catch. I think some of the stuff's like the Monty Python thing.
It's definitely, they've watched too much of the Holy Grail.
Too much of that?
Yeah,
and so
sure.
I didn't catch that's what some of the references were for, but it looks cute. And it seems like he's got a good group of friends.
Yeah, it is surprising that they could all get roped in on that. The wigs, I'm unclear on the wigs.
Oh, the blonde-haired wigs?
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
Well, they're just throwing it in. Do you think, though, so like back when you guys were doing promposals?
I was never doing promposals.
Was it like, okay, Saturday we're doing it, and so what you don't know is there's 3 other videos as they go to everybody's house for each guy to be able to prompose? And
I thought they went to 2 other houses first and got rejected.
Maybe, no, not like, the one, so like the next friend.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go ask someone.
Now he gets to wear the crown, yeah.
You know what? I think it's there can only be one girl at school that would say yes to this.
That's what I was thinking. Like, imagine being her parents. Like, if that, like, her father looks out the window and she's like, really?
That's who we're going with.
This is the guy.
I would think the same thing,
in
but
the wig.
the dad is eating it up.
Is he? I didn't. Is he in the background of the video?
He is cackling. He
Oh,
loves
geez.
it. I think he loves it more than his daughter.
He probably likes the Monty Python stuff too.
He does.
So.
He knows what it's in reference to.
They look sweet. It looks fun.
Look, if you can pull this stunt and the gal does say yes, you're a match made in heaven.
And if you have not come up yet with a clever proposal, time's up.
And
keep looking.
This one
looking.
and the Monty Python Holy Grail one's taken.
That was taken. You have to pick something that's not viral yet.
Maybe pick something more modern.
Modern?
Yeah.
Sure.
And cool.
Much cooler. I would lean cooler.
Not that I don't love Monty Python and Holy Grail. I just don't think, again,
Can you imagine
you're not
yourself
going to get
doing
a
this,
lot of
Hudson?
yeses.
Like, can you imagine?
No.
There's
Actually,
a 0%
I can't imagine
chance.
Hudson doing this.
No,
I kinda
You
can't
like
too.
old stuff? I could totally see you doing this.
Yeah, and
but
like, you're embarrassing sometimes. I could see you doing
I'm not
something
this
like that.
dorky, though.
Yeah, this is super dorky.
I don't think you should be throwing stones.
Dorky even for me.
I think it's all right.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We talk a lot on the show about what's in fashion, in the celebrity world, but in the influencer world. But what does the average American think is in fashion?
Yeah, like the average person's not doing the mermaid core trend.
Coastal cowgirl.
We're not doing that.
That's
Hey, I
not-
liked Coastal Cowgirl.
It wasn't bad.
No, you like to see it, but you're not wearing
When like
it.
really cute girls were wearing it, it was cute.
I bet you they'd say that you look good as a coastal cowboy if you just gave it a shot.
I'm not ready for that.
Oh, okay. That's
I couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, but this is what the average American thinks is coming to the forefront of fashion. I have a survey here. The top thing that Americans think is the future of fashion: tie-dye.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
really? That goes back every year or so. Tie-dye
Mm-hmm.
becomes popular.
Now, granted, that's still only 35% of Americans think that tie-dye is what's coming next.
Tie-dye's not
That's what's
coming
in.
next.
Tie-dye just never goes away enough. So I think it's just a safe bet if you want to wear something that's, a little bit more
Wild.
Yeah.
Don't be wearing tie-dye.
Crazy.
Why?
I think tie-dye's ridiculous.
No.
It's ridiculous. Unless you're like a child and you made the shirt. It's the only time you can wear it.
You were proud of
If
it
you
then.
didn't
Yes.
tie-dye it yourself.
If you didn't do it, you can't be wearing tie-dye.
Well, at summer camp this summer, I'm
Yeah.
going to make my own shirt.
there you go.
That's wild.
That's fine.
You know what's crazy is my dad and my younger brother both are big tie-dye guys.
No, they're
They
not.
do?
They are.
They don't
yeah.
wear tie-dye.
But there's nothing like when I think of tie-dye, I'm thinking like hippies, right? I'm like wooks or whatever. But that's not my dad or my brother at all.
They just like
wear
it.
tie-dye. Yeah.
But they don't make it themselves.
No.
Okay.
And
Well, I didn't know if that's a
Hold on.
nice, father-son bonding thing.
it's a father-son daughter because my brother just had a baby girl and he's putting her in all time.
That's cute.
Is it?
See, it works.
I guess it's okay for babies.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
for
bad.
children, if you're
Yeah.
under the age of like 7, you can wear tie-dye.
Okay.
Or
Well,
10. I guess 10's good
All right.
too.
So the other thing that Americans think might be in fashion soon: shirt pockets.
Pockets on the shirt.
Yeah, like the pocket
Out.
tee. I'm
Really?
imagining the pocket tee.
They're out.
Yeah, I'm not into that at all.
I didn't
Those are
even know
out.
that was like a trend thing.
That was in like 5 years ago. Gone.
I think the average American is 5 years behind.
That could be
Is what
true.
it sounds like, but that's again only 33%. They also so that's what they think is the future of fashion.
Well, get ready. Oh my gosh, if you tie-dye a pocket shirt, then
Yeah.
you are in.
Now you're talking.
Woo!
When you're talking about what they think is actually in style right now, quotes.
That's a
quotes on
current
shirt.
trend. Yeah, it's a current trend.
Yeah, I mean, go to Kohl's and you'll see Rick and Morty quotes everywhere, so it makes sense. They're selling those to somebody. Bright colors.
Ooh.
That's pretty vague, but okay. And logos on the front.
There
That's
you go.
that's always a popular one. So that's not what the celebrities, the fashion icons are telling you, but that's what the average American is telling you that's what's in fashion right now.
For a lot of people, also custom clothing, that's more about your personality, supporting small businesses instead of like fast fashion. That's also a thing too. But that
Everybody's buying stuff off Shein. I don't want to hear it.
That's fast fashion, yes. So, but they say they want to support local, but they're still buying there.
But they're buying everything off Shein, and when you ask them where they got it, they're like, oh, I got it from Shein, but I usually don't shop at places like that.
I buy all my tie-dye locally.
Yeah,
But it's
so
such
local.
Such a good deal, though.
Oh, it's such a great deal.
You can't turn down those prices.
I support small business, but that one time I did order
Small
like $100 off
business in China.
Shein. Yeah.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Now, CinemaCon has been going on, right, for the last few days. Lots and lots of movie news, lots of trailers coming out there. I was going to ask you guys to vote on which one you want to talk about, but
For the trailers?
Yeah, but I only watched one.
Okay, so then you voted.
So I voted, and it's the Hunger Games prequel trailer. They dropped that one. It's called the Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's coming to theaters surprisingly quickly, November 17th. I didn't know it was that soon.
I just recall us talking about it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was something that they were going to do. I didn't even know they filmed the thing.
Yeah, it's filmed. It's ready to go. Coming later this year. Did you get a chance to watch it, Nikki? I know Isaiah was here watching over my shoulder.
I did not get to. Oh, is that what you guys were watching?
Yeah, that's what we were watching. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
It does look pretty cool.
Oh, are you guys excited then about
I
that?
like the Hunger Games. I've read all the books. I love the movies. I had low expectations for this, but I didn't realize that it was like a prequel.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was a prequel. And it's like showing the background of like if you've seen the Hunger Games, then you know like Snow, who's like kind of the antagonist the whole time, right? He's the President
Donald
Snow.
Sutherland.
Yes, and this shows like it's like a prequel about him pretty much, of like the beginning of the Hunger Games, how it all started, whatnot. Looks pretty sick. I'm excited.
I similarly didn't. I was Hunger Games out because what do they make? 4 movies?
They made 4, yeah.
By the time, I mean, they were all solid, but by the time you got to 4, I was like, well, I think I've seen enough of this
You
story.
needed a break.
But
I wanted more.
It's been a little while, and this is a different angle because it is the prequel, because you always do wonder with the Hunger Games when you're watching it the first time, you're like, well, how did this kind of nonsense get started? And now we get to find out.
Well, it looks pretty good because sometimes when they do the prequel stuff or it's been an established saying, they're like, well, here's younger versions of older characters. It can look cheaply made, and I feel like it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It does look good. It looks real dramatic.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Intense. It's got like, it's weird because I don't know what kind of world the Hunger Games takes place in because it looks old-timey, even though there's a lot of stuff about the Hunger Games that's like futuristic. So I guess real steampunk kind of situation here. So it looks really cool. It's got a good cast too. You got Rachel Zegler is like the star of the movie. She was in West Side Story, the new West Side Story. So excellent cast. My hopes are a little bit up.
Looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
Feeling a little jazzed about this.
So that was the big trailer from yesterday, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and we were surprised, November 17th. So that'll be out later this year.
Just before Thanksgiving.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
This is a TikTok where it is a woman named Brianna. She made dinner for her husband.
Yeah.
Problem is, husband didn't like it.
Oh, you do? Is this the nacho guy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's the nacho guy. Isaiah, have you seen him?
I have not seen
He
the
doesn't
nacho
come
guy.
out looking great on
No,
this.
this is the worst. So the lady says,
Did you see what she had made him for dinner?
it's salmon, right?
It's salmon, and
She
he didn't
made him
wanna eat it.
salmon. So in the clip, she's making nachos, she's grating cheese. The caption is, "My husband didn't eat the dinner that I made." And before that, she says, "The moral of the story is always serve your kids all the food, even if they say they don't like it after the first time. 25 years from now, your child's spouse will thank you."
Yeah, so basically, he just didn't want to eat the salmon, and I mean that's kind of lame. It seemed like he was older.
She said, "Yeah, this is a grown man. He's married," and she says, "If I don't feed him, he literally won't eat." And so she has to make him nachos. Nachos aren't dinner.
Well, she just made them for him later that night. And I think if you watch the clip, he's like all cuddled up in bed or something watching TV.
And like under a blanket.
Yeah, like he just looks like the biggest baby.
He seems like the biggest baby.
I know.
I'm a picky eater, but if my wife makes me dinner, the least I can do, I'll try it. I mean, she knows what I like and I don't like. But if she made me, I think the bare minimum, if she makes dinner and you don't like it, you make your own dinner.
Yeah, you get up and do your own thing.
Your legs aren't broken, right? That's what your mom would say, right? That's what his mom should have told him, it sounds like.
So she's saying that she's blaming it on his mom for not making him, force him to try more things when he was younger.
This guy obviously sucks. But, don't we all kind of strive to be him?
You're right, because of him and pouting. Like, he did get his dinner brought to him, and she made him nachos, and the nachos looked amazing.
They look so good. Like, this girl obviously is like a 10 out of 10. She's awesome for making him dinner twice or whatever. But for me, as a man, as a person, as a human being, I would love to be coddled like this. To be like, salmon sounds good, but I was oddly enough feeling nachos. Oh, you want nachos? I'll go make you some nachos. Okay, if you want to.
You can be nice enough, like right there, and then she probably would have just made you both.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, there's no problem. But like, she's shredding the cheese.
Yeah.
And
She's going all out.
She's going way too far.
Like these nachos, like if I make nachos at home, it's like tortilla chips, sprinkled
Microwave.
cheese in this microwave. These are like legit nachos. These are like you go out to eat and you get the appetizer that says nachos, and those look like better than that is.
And when she hands it to him on the couch, he just looks like, fine, thank you. Like, he doesn't even look appreciative.
He does, and he's under his blanket. He looks like a weenie. He's like, oh, thanks, hon, or whatever. But still, yet again, I mean, this dude sucks, but goodness gracious, am I jealous of him.
What do you think of this? You think that guys, we don't really want a wife? We want another mom.
Oh, yeah, probably something to that.
You ever think
There
about
is
it that
something
way?
like that, yeah.
And
We just like to be taken
this guy
care of.
clearly has that now.
Oh, yeah.
He's got-
100%.
He's got a mom and he's got his wife mom.
Well, she could maybe stand up for herself, and next
Yeah.
time we don't encourage the continuation of that behavior, and we're thankful for whatever food we have for dinner. And if not, she could just make it all for us.
What would your reaction be, Nikki, if Eric was like, not eating that? Try again.
Do you have it in you to
Try
tell
again.
him off?
Yeah, I mean, no, actually, I wouldn't say a thing. That was dinner. So, like, if he wants to do something else, he's more than capable of doing something else. But he wouldn't pull something like this.
Nikki's like, I made the dinner, and if you don't like that one, there's not another one. So you either eat that or you do something yourself.
Yeah, you make your own food, which he will. And then later, I'm like, why are you making that? That looks pretty good.
That looks kind of good. Am I able to get in on that or no?
You could have made the whole dinner.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
I got a question for you guys. You ever watch something and then, like, after you watch it, it's like it follows you in your mind everywhere you go?
Like a scary movie, or?
That would be a good example of, like, you if you watch a scary movie, you're worried that if you open a closet, someone's going to jump out with a knife or something type thing.
Sure.
Here's my current experience. The new season, or the final season of Better Call Saul, is finally on Netflix, and I didn't watch it when it was actually on TV. So I'm watching the last season of Better Call Saul, and I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, feeling like I'm being followed, never knowing when my head could be shot off or I could be double crossed by some kind of cartel member.
Because it's going on in the show?
Yeah.
But you're not in the show.
I know, I'm not in that world at all.
So why are you
I couldn't
worried?
be further from a drug cartel. There's nothing about my life that has anything to do with that. But I was at like a gas station filling up, and there was like a piece of trash blowing through, and I turned quick. I was like, is that somebody following me?
You're worried?
Yeah, looking over my shoulder. Does that happen to you guys, or am I just crazy?
Well, I think you're watching too many without taking a break. Perhaps.
I watch one at a time, like twice a week.
Right before bed, or
Oh, that's a good call.
in the afternoon.
do you watch something between then, or is that the last show of the day for you?
No, it's in the middle of the day.
Do you normally have this problem when it comes to shows you watch, or is just for some reason Better Call Saul impacting you?
I don't know the last one I can think. I mean, it's not the first time this has happened.
Yeah, 'cause
but yeah,
sometimes-
just some of those shows, they stress me out, and then I can't leave the show behind when I'm
Sure.
just going about life.
I mean, if it's a sad one, like I'll still cry for a while, or you can't shake it off. But it's not making me think what's happening in the show is going on in real life.
It's not. So,
No.
what about you?
See, I've had similar things with this in the past, right?
Yeah.
The John Wick thing.
The John Wick thing, where I was having this constant daydream about someone shooting my dog.
That means something really got in
Which
your
is
brain.
aggressive, obviously.
Yeah.
After even watching...
That's even less likely than me getting involved in a drug cartel somehow.
See, but like, I don't know. But I think it was because in the most recent John Wick 4, it was throughout the whole movie. There was a
Haven't
constant...
seen it yet. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not giving anything away. But there was a constant, like, in the back of my mind, like, at any moment, a dog could be shot. It was like, was it the second one where his dog gets shot right away?
No, the first one.
Is it the first one? It's the first
Yeah.
one. First one, dog gets shot right away. It's over. You know what happens. But in the fourth one, it's the whole movie. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, when's the dog gonna die?
And so you're just worried about Jim.
Yeah, and so thinking about Jim, and then it's really engraved into my mind. I went through pretty much 4 hours of, is a dog gonna die in this movie?
Sheesh.
And so then when I went home, I was like, dang, I'm gonna come back one day,
No!
and someone's gonna have shot Jim in his crate, and that
And
was
Hudson's in a cartel.
Yeah.
and then Hudson's in a drug cartel. It could be Hudson.
They
who
would be
knows?
connected,
They
yeah.
would be connected. So that's been my only thing. A constant daydreams about that recently. More of a fear,
think
I guess.
You guys either need to get more desensitized so it doesn't bother you as much,
hold
or
on.
don't watch it.
Tell everyone what you were saying about beef.
Oh, I started watching it, and
Yeah.
there's so much language in it that I was like, no, I can't watch this right now because you don't want to say all the same language. And it was just a lot mentally. I couldn't do it at that moment.
That's like what you like don't want a kid to do.
Yeah.
Like you like keep your child from watching something 'cause you're like, I don't want them to pick up on the language. Nikki
If they
has to
just hear it
censor
too much.
Nikki has to censor herself. She's like, well, if I learn these words, I might have to use them.
No, because there's just so much at you at once, and you're like, wait, no, it's overwhelming.
Then that's what Nikki's gonna blame it on when she cusses on the show tomorrow. On Monday, she's gonna come and be like, well, I was watching Beef a lot,
Yeah.
so
Hudson, that's a good point. I guess we all should be careful about what we're going to watch this weekend because you're seeing 3 different variations of what
Yeah.
could be happening.
hopefully Nikki's mom's listening to the show. I think we need parental controls on our TV.
That's right.
We would hate for her to go down the wrong path.
We can set you up with a kids account on Netflix.
Yes,
you
I
know.
think it might be better. But some restrictions, I think, are needed for Nikki's Netflix.
Okay, so no one else has that issue?
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.